And we are live with another edition of the Daily Crypto Byte. Welcome to everyone that is joining us today. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It is Good Friday, so the markets are closed, but guess what? Crypto does not care, does not ever close. So we are here today with another edition of the Daily Crypto Byte because there's plenty to talk about today, CJ. We had some pretty exciting market action in the big players in the space, Bitcoin, Ethereum saw some nice moves, but they weren't alone. There are also some really nice low cap assets that saw some solid moves, and I think are going to continue to see some nice price action into the weekend. So, without further ado, let's hop right into today's episode. And I think we should start by taking a look at Bitcoin and just kind of establishing some context for the rest of the market, CJ. And once again, we were kind of rejected at that 60K level. Do you have any thoughts on where we might go this weekend and what type of price action you're expecting to see for Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think we're still relatively bullish. We're pushing up upon that top Bollinger Band, Keltner channel, whatever you want to say. And that level really hasn't provided any resistance thus far throughout our entire uptrend, even from 20K. So, I don't know how likely it is for that level to act as resistance, especially now that we're getting some bullish price action coming in during the Asian session last night, and possibly even tonight. So I'm still looking pretty bullish, especially with some of the movements in the altcoin market. I mean, when you see things going up double digits in certain assets that, don't move too often, that usually gives you a clue sometimes to, the overall sentiment in the market. So I think things are still going to be pretty bullish, at least for the remainder of the day with Bitcoin and Ethereum. How about your thoughts?
Yeah, CJ, I agree with you. I mean, we've talked a lot about kind of the pattern that we've seen in the past when Bitcoin tends to break above these new all-time highs. That's really when it enters that mode of price discovery, and we see a lot of the fervor and speculation flood into the market. So yeah, I think we're teetering on the brink of a breakout here, teasing with this 62K level. But I just want to touch on something you mentioned yesterday. And speaking of assets that don't move too much, Ethereum is one that we hadn't talked about pretty much at all on this show until yesterday. You had it as your pick of Doge of the day. And sure enough, that thing started to run. And I was happy to see it because I had been holding Ethereum for a few months now and kind of starting to kick myself that I hadn't reallocated that money elsewhere because a lot of alts are performing so well. But I really believe in the fundamental value of Ethereum. So I held on and I was really happy to see that price action we saw yesterday. So you want to tell us a little bit about that and kind of what you're seeing with Ethereum?
Yeah. So what I was talking about yesterday on Ethereum was just kind of pointing out a ascending triangle on a combination of the 4 hour and the daily timeframes, with the base of resistance at around $2,000, a little bit short, about $50 below $2,000. But we've broken that level now, and Ethereum is testing all-time highs. I mean, we're very close. The all-time high in Ethereum was 2,039, judging by Bitstamp. And we are only about $10 below that wick right now. And so Ethereum is pretty much at all-time highs, despite the fact that Bitcoin is only still, below 60. So that's kind of like you've talked about this before too, Monty. You've kind of talked about how Ethereum has been almost an ETF or like a health gauge for the altcoin market. And since we're seeing all-time highs and bullish momentum continue throughout Ethereum, I think that's gonna be the overall statement for the rest of the market as well.
Yeah, CJ, I completely agree with you. I think that that's such a valuable way to kind of gauge the overall altcoin market is just to see the health of Ethereum. So that's why I was really happy to see you had it as your Doge of the day yesterday. And you mentioned this sort of ascending triangle. I'm just curious, kind of, if you're still watching that pattern today as it's kind of broken to the upside, and if so, what are you kind of looking for as a completion of this formation? Do you have any price targets this weekend, or are you just kind of seeing where it goes from here?
Yeah, I like to look at the weekly chart. Should have sent you a chart, but that's okay. So the Fibonacci level that we talk about, which is critical on Bitcoin, is 62K for the macro trend on the weekly chart. The equivalent for Ethereum is Fibonacci level is around 2200. We have critical resistance for Ethereum at 2000, but I think a completion of that measured move would be a touch of that Fibonacci level on the weekly of about 2,200 bucks. So that would be the interim target, so to speak.
Okay, yeah, that seems like a realistic price target given kind of what we've been seeing with Bitcoin and what kind of price targets we've extrapolated so far. I think if Bitcoin runs up to new all-time highs, I think ETH is definitely going to go with it. And I think it's well postured to get up to that level that you just mentioned of 2,200. But we've been talking a lot about ETH now and a lot about its relationship with the altcoins. So what do you say we dive into the doges of the day, because I think this weekend is going to be a pretty exciting weekend for a lot of these altcoin assets. So I think there's going to be some pretty interesting opportunities to play this market. What do you have for us today, CJ, as your Doge of the day?
Well, my Doge of the day is not exactly original. It's not one that we have not talked about before, and that one is Stormax. If I go to the Stormax chart here, we are breaking some critical levels. We are having bullish momentum and breaking above prior swing highs on the daily chart. We are currently on a green 8 on the sequential indicator. A lot of times throughout uptrends, what we've seen with some of these assets is that we actually get that 9 candle that then becomes a catalyst and the peak of the trend. So I'm looking at Stormax for a potential scalp trade for the rest of the day and possibly this weekend, because we are still seeing volume. We're still seeing strong buyers. There's some interesting fundamental news around Stormax too. Simon came out releasing the fact that they had secured additional venture capital funding. So when you have that in the mix as well, it doesn't take much to get a rally going in one of these smaller caps. But you know, I better watch what I say. Stormax might not be such a lower cap for too much longer.
Yeah, that's a great point, CJ. And another kind of interesting development with Stormax that I saw on Twitter this weekend or this past week was that Simon started taking out some advertising for the Stormax app on Facebook, Instagram, and all other social medias. And as a result, the downloads of the app have actually increased at the tail end of this week. So I've been checking out the app a lot. I think it's great. I think Stormax has solid utility, and I like your pick as Doge of the day because, like you said, CJ, it is breaking above some critical levels. And we talked yesterday about how it was really encouraging to see this move, given the fact that it went so parabolic. We're kind of expecting a longer period of kind of bearish and neutral consolidation, but it's picking up right where it left off and is starting to move to the upside. So very good stuff from Stormax, and I'm excited to see where it heads this weekend.
Quick question. Have you ever purchased anything on the Stormax app?
Yes, I have. You get 1.6% cash back on eBay. So all my eBay purchases, which I purchase a lot of stuff on eBay, like cards and stuff, I purchased through the Stormax app. One got delivered the other day, this LeBron Slam card, and I ordered some more yesterday too. So got like 12 bucks in crypto back. So can't complain about that. I mean, I was gonna be making those purchases anyway, so why not?
I did not tell him I was going to bring that up before the show. He's just got those cards on deck.
Oh yeah, they're within arm's reach. I've got a very wide selection of cards, so yeah, there's a pretty good chance I always have them on me. But
Munchie, your
yes,
Doge of the day. What do you have for us, sir?
my Doge of the day. I guess maybe you could say it's a little bit more original than yours, CJ, but one that we've been talking about for a very long time, and that is KNC Kyber Network. And the reason I like this one is a combination of the fundamentals and the technicals. Also, sentiment on Trade the Chain, daily sentiment was very strong today. That's something that I look for as well. And I think this is kind of one that is in a nice position to benefit from a strong move to the upside by Bitcoin. So you can see here that we've gained a little bit of ground back after kind of topping out here and then moving all the way back down. And I think that now with sort of the sell pressure relieved on the market that we've talked about with Bitcoin, I think that there's good reason to believe that speculation on these low cap alts is going to increase. And I think KNC is well postured to make a run above its previous all-time high. When we talk about KNC, we'd be remiss not to mention the kind of discrepancy in its market cap between what what it has of a market cap of less than a billion, and then looking at others like Uniswap and SushiSwap that are in the tens of billions. There's lots of room for KNC to grow as a decentralized exchange. So I think the potential is there. It definitely fits the bill of an ignition asset because I think that the room to the upside is pretty significant. So yeah, I think KNC is a good investment in terms of the technicals that we're seeing here, but also in terms of the fundamentals and the room it has to grow in terms of market cap in the decentralized exchange space.
I'm really glad you bring that up because I was extremely close to selecting KNC as well. I think it's going to be, I think it's like the dark horse of the exchange, the decentralized exchange space, because it's been vastly overlooked. So we'll see if it has its time in the sun at some point, which I think it will.
Agreed. Agreed. But I think that's all we got for today. Nice quick episode, 13 minutes, a true bite today. We actually delivered on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Voyager for sponsoring this show, as always. And if you guys want to check out our crypto community, you can try it out for just $1 for the first month. The link is right below me here, markrebellion.com/try crypto. CJ and I hang out there pretty much 24/7. There's an ever-growing community of really intelligent traders. We have a pro charting service. We publish trade insights regularly. Like some more elaborate dojis of the day is essentially what these trade insights are. We publish news, and in general, it's just a good place to hang out if you're interested in about learning in crypto. We drop new education courses every month. Just dropped one on NFTs. So yeah, go check that out. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.